time optimizers, home worker outers. Don't forget to stretch. So in this time when you're stressed out, or if you're actually at home and you have a lot of time on your hands, you can take some time to stretch, because stretching, you should take a slow and steady progress to your stretching. You can start slow and then get even slower. So this is the point. If you ever have time, you should schedule a whole workout, a 1 hour session, whatever it is, at least once a month, where all you're doing is stretching. Now, you can pair these stretches I'm going to show you for the upper body with the stretches for the lower body that I did in a different video, but you can do them separately. It's whatever you want to do. So this is for the upper body. Now, here we go. First, I want you guys to start out by loosening up the thoracic vertebrae, your upper back, everything behind the neck, and the middle back. So first we start out in the 4-point position. The 4-point position is where your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder are all stacked up. Your knee, your hips are stacked up. Everything's at 90 degrees. My hand's 90 degrees, my arm's 90 degrees to the ground. My spine's relaxed, not too far forward, not too far back, not like this. So holding this position, what I want to do is a kind of a basic yoga transition, kind of a cat-cow transition, but a little twist to it. So we're going to go under, look under, belly button in, hips forward. Think of wherever the third vertebrae might be. You're looking under and pulling the third vertebrae up to the ceiling. Now relax, stick your chest out, head out, butt up. We got elbows in. From there, we're going to go again. Look under, kind of like a scared cat. Keep the belly button in, looking at it. Tuck your chin down, third vertebrae to the ceiling. Now go forward. Keep the arch, slowly lean forward as far as you can, keeping that arch. Then go back, go to where you started, past where you started. Keep going back, holding the arch the whole time and increasing the stretch as much as you can. Here, my hands started to become light and only my fingertips are touching. So I'm sitting back, holding the big arch, and then finally going forward again one more time. So stick your chest out, head up, and that's a good way to loosen up the middle back. Now, we're going to go for some stretches. This is basically a one-arm child pose. So I'm going to reach out forward, palm up. And what I want to do is rotate my wrist and make sure my whole arm is off the floor. Only the wrist is there. So a lot of people relax and do their stretches like this. This is not the time to relax, it's the time to stretch. After you're done stretching, you'll feel relaxed. So now, put the wrist forward, elbow stays up, palm up, supinate, and then pull back the hips. As I'm stretching my right arm, I'm going to sit back and go a little bit to the left. So I'm trying to look under and get a greater lat stretch. You can do this stretch in many directions. You can go out like this, and that should be the most difficult version, and you can come across that way. Depending on where you're tight, you might need to do a different stretch, or all of the angles above. So you're going to stretch out the arm now and stretch your shoulders and pecs. Again, here people relax too much. Keep your arm off the floor, your thumb and index finger only thing down, your forearm stays up, and you're stretching your forearm, your bicep, your deltoid, your pectorals, and you start to look to the side. Using this arm to push off, I'm twisting and looking up away from my stretching arm. So as I continue to do that, I lower myself to the ground, but never to relax, just to increase the stretch. Then you take that same arm to the opposite side. Again, palm up. Too often people relax. Keep yourself up. The wrist is the only thing on the floor. Now you get stuck. Imagine your arm is stuck underneath a door and you're pulling from the other side. So my wrist is stuck, my elbow is up, and I keep the space between my head, my face, and my bicep. So I'm trying to keep this relaxed. Not like this, but keeping the space by pulling away with my spine and pulling my shoulder to the side. Again, as I'm stretching my right arm, I'm going to sit back and to the right to get a greater stretch all the way through my lower back and lats. Okay, and then we switch sides, do the same thing again. Palm up. You can rotate, pull yourself back. You can come across the middle angle, do a minute, 2 minutes, whatever you want to stretch the longest so you feel relief. And if you feel pain in the front of your shoulder, that is usually because the back of your lats and rotator cuff muscles are tight. So you have to stretch all those muscles out just so you don't feel the tension in the front. So these would be a great help. Again, build up to increase stretches. Put your arm out to the side. And for those who do jiu-jitsu, this is like being stuck in an arm bar of some sort. So here you got the thumb down, bicep to the floor, elbow to the ceiling. Don't over-rotate. Keep the same technique. I'm going to look under, lower my forearm and bicep closer to the floor. I'm trying to get my ear towards the floor, but don't go all the way down. So looking under and pulling. I'm trying to twist as much as possible, but not over-rotate. Again, I'm going to go the exact opposite side. Palm up. Just my wrist is down. Pulling the shoulder back to the end. And again, don't look this way. Look ahead at your bicep and elbow crease. Keep the space between your chest and your bicep. Don't collapse. Pull the shoulder to the side and back. Okay, once you did all those stretches, we can move on to some of these stretches where you lie down on the floor, chest down,
I'm going to go palm down to the floor, bicep down, shoulder is glued, the opposite hand is pushing off with my palm, and I'm going to bring this opposite knee up again, 90 degrees. This is how a lot of people sleep. So I'm going to twist my head and look away from the stretching arm. Hold the stretch as long as you need to, then rotate and go thumb down, index finger down again. I'm trying to get my bicep to stretch, not to over-rotate the shoulder. Keep the stretch going by pushing off the opposite hand, and I'm going to step over whenever I feel comfortable. So now at this point, I'm going to start to advance my hips and move them away from the stretching arm. Then take this top arm and let it hang like you got some attitude. It should be hanging in the mirror version of what the bottom arm is doing. So get it to the same position and look up away from the stretching arm to increase the stretch. Okay, so you got a different angle. I'm going to go here, arm out. Arm out, palm down, bicep down, chest down. Pressing with the opposite hand, 90 degrees on that leg. Start here by pushing your face away from the floor like it stinks. Ugh. Then you look back, look up. Rotate the thumb and index finger down. And again, take about 20 seconds before you transition in the stretches. And please pause so you can stretch longer than I'm showing you. And you're going to step over. It's like a break fall. You post, make sure your knee is up and not collapse. Take this hand, assist yourself in moving your hips and advancing the stretch farther. Again, not over-rotating or hurting yourself, but stretching a lot. Now taking that top arm, let it hang, opening up, and let gravity do the work of the stretch here. One of the best things you can do is just let gravity do the stretch, and all you gotta do is look the opposite direction. Don't look at it. I'm gonna lie down. I'm gonna put my chest on the floor, hands underneath my chest below, elbows in, tucked in, shoulders back, chest up, look up. Press yourself up to get a nice stretch here, and then that's it. Again, you do all these stretches to loosen up, make sure you have the mobility in your shoulders and you can bring your arms straight up without hurting in front of the shoulder. This is the mobility you want to build up. Get that range of motion going. Do these at the end of your workouts if you're working upper body, or just do them all by itself so the stretching is its own workout. Enjoy, have fun, make progress.